Go.
All right, so I'm at D10E here in Silicon Valley. It's a great event, by the way, if you ever have a chance to go. My friend Stephen Meade, the CEO and founder of, what's monetapro.
Monetapro.
But you also own a gazillion other
My
businesses.
phone's ringing because my mom's calling.
He owns Big Bamboo. Congrats to your mom, right? All right, so listen, he's one of the best I've ever seen at getting a message down, soundbite wise, engaging. It's not good enough to be an entrepreneur with a good product or service or technology. You have to have a message that pops, that captures people's attention. He's one of the best I've ever seen at it. Real fast, what are the key essentials to getting your message heard quickly and getting differentiation? If you look around the room, there was, I don't know, 30, 20 some odd.
31 or 32. This was
32 people made presentations with technology companies in the blockchain space. He came in first.
And this apparently was the largest conference in terms of number of presenting companies, not by attendance, but 31 companies presenting for a cash prize.
Right.
As best we can tell, was the largest competitive blockchain conference in the world to date.
Good.
And in Silicon Valley, which is a very, very tough audience. I mean, it's a very enthusiastic audience. Silicon Valley is very entrepreneurial, very aggressive on angel investing, but they're also very critical because, you know, there's professors from Berkeley Center. They see a lot of ideas, like the best ideas in the world come out of Silicon Valley.
So key for an entrepreneur to get get the attention quickly.
Yeah.
What did you do with your presentation?
So the positives of the presentation, I used some of the three questions I learned from Sam Horn.
What were the three questions so someone might have an example?
So one of the questions was, did you know there is a $17 trillion industry that exists? And that was designed to kind of capture that. Did you know that large corporations participate in this by global trading? And did you know this is the types of things companies trade? And once I got to that component, then I gave examples to isolate. So I said, you know, companies like IBM will trade computers for cars, or a hotel group will trade for toilet paper or sheets. So I tried to bring it down to very simplistic visuals, not complexly explain what we were doing. It was, hey, you can imagine a hotel will trade hotel rooms for toilet paper, cars for computers. And that tended to bring the audience in a non-complex way.
So what's your methodology where you kind of go right down? So for example, in a networking situation, there's a lot of conversations going back and forth. The biggest mistake, by the way, most people make, you ask someone what they do, they'll say, I'm a consultant, I'm whatever. That tells you nothing. Go through the little methodology that you have to get people to narrow their focus on what you want them to focus on in case they might be able to help you.
Right, so we've talked about this. So on the front end, I have something called a tornado technique, which I've done on my own. And the tornado technique is, what's the emotional value of what you do? There's something cool about what you do. And for me, I know what's emotional about our company. What are the industries we want to move into? I know the top 3 industries, not that we can't do 30. I know the 3 that are the best. I know the top 5 or 6 companies we want to partner with by name. I know the title of who we sell to within those companies. And I usually know the name of 3 or 4 or 5 people I want to meet. So the first process is I've done this on my own.
So let's go do a quick role play on it. So hey Stephen, what is it you do, or how does it work? And then boom, let's.
So to that point, I would never answer what I do first because I don't know enough about you. So I deflect, defer, and disclose.
I'm a serial entrepreneur and an investor.
So what I would say is, I've got a technology company called Big Bamboo, but hey Larry, tell me more about you. Now I've shifted the focus back to you. I'm now in control of that conversation. I'm not going to let you ramble on about what you do. I'm going to control it in a sequence of questions. When you tell me all about Sang, I'll say, that's great, Larry. Like, what do your clients love about you? Like, when you do Sang, the people in the room, what do they love most about you? And that'll give me the emotional value. And I'll say, all right, within the audience, who are the 3 or 4, what are the best industries that like to show up for what you do? Who are some of the companies you've worked with? And I will sequence you through the questions to lead you to the objective for me to find out is not what you do, it's what you need. And I can't, not that I can't, I don't want to waste time. Have you selling me on what you do? I want to find out what you need and then decide if I want to help you.
And so one of the keys to being the best, not only just networking, but an amazing networker is always a great creator of value, is if you can understand what someone else wants and needs, and then you can deliver it to them. So as a matter of fact, you and I, on the ride from LA to Silicon Valley, you were explaining your monetapro technology, the problems that it solves in the big trading industry or the barter industry,
the
at
global
big
barter
level, And I started saying, well, would there be any value if you connected with the top people at SAP or just some of the different company executives I knew? And we were trying to figure out who I knew that would be of good value for you. But you were able to help me finally focus on the problem and the kinds of roles.
If I had spent the whole time trying to describe the problem to you, we wouldn't have delved down into the types of companies I need. And to your credit, you pulled SAP out. At first I thought, no, because I was thinking of them in a different context. But once I got my head around it, SAP's a perfect partner for us. And so, yeah, I'd be really excited to talk to the people you mentioned.
All right, last question, make it quick. So blockchain, everyone talks about Bitcoin. Everyone hears about that. I think the value is in blockchain technology to solve problems, to be very disruptive. What is your view on it?
Bitcoin to me is a glorified gift card.
Okay.
I'm not putting it down, but I can go buy a $1,000 Amex gift card, give it to you, it's anonymous. You'll have to go walking up and down the street, hope somebody accepts it. Not everybody will. But the difference is it's a gift card means a penny stock, meaning if I give you a $1,000 card, you might wake up tomorrow and it'll have $800 on it, it might have $1,200. So it'll function as a currency, but in a very limited way. Blockchain is much more interesting to me. Blockchain is what the internet was to disrupting and technologies and disrupting companies, and not just disrupting. In some cases, the internet just provided an efficiency. Right? Like the internet made online banking easier. It didn't disrupt banking. It just made banking easier. It made purchasing travel easier. Blockchain to me is going to provide efficiencies in a lot of industries. And there will be some companies that come along that completely disrupt, but the blockchain's not going to disrupt everything. It's not the panacea, but it is a fascinating, amazing technology I think it's going to be bigger than the internet in the sense that when the internet was created, the internet didn't exist. And what I mean by that is there wasn't this global communication, there weren't global communities, there wasn't a Twitter or a Telegraph. Now, this is a lightning speed. You've got companies in Ukraine and Russia and Barcelona that can create a technology and have a global community, and you couldn't do that prior to the internet. Now you can. So the internet's enabled the blockchain, but the blockchain I think will be bigger than the internet just through efficiencies.
Last question. If I look at this as almost .com, almost all over again, what year do you think we might be in?
For blockchain?
For the whole crypto, blockchain, Bitcoin, whatever you want to call this asset class.
I think we're probably
if
96, 97. It's still super early. The amount of money in blockchain is $1 trillion. At the internet, it was 7.5 or 1/7 of what the internet was. But I think it's going to go there in a third of the time. So I think that's the difference. I think it'll get there in a third of the time the internet did.
Best website for them to learn about you or social media?
monetapro.io, monetapro, monetapro.io, and social media. I'm other than the 78-year-old transvestite running for office in San Diego, I'm the only Stephen Meade out there.
That's a good thing to know right there. Okay. All right. Anyway, I hope you got some value. Comment below and follow him. He's a genius. May you connect and grow rich.